Greetings, fellow duplicants. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Oxygen Not Included Frosty Planet, Episode 10, Under Pressure. So at this point, all we really need to do is to tap the bammoths. This is probably a pretty good area to tap first. So in order to reach here, we're going to need some tiles. And then we'll dig and breach into this area here. Which, there's nothing in here, like, let me double check, but I don't see anything in here that would be dangerous to add to our base. So I'm just gonna go... Actually, you know what? Let's do this properly. I'm gonna access that space from outside of the liquid lock. So that it's, you know, secured area, if you will. So we'll go from there. That would be the proper protocols. And there's a lot of bammoth over there, and there's a lot of plume squash, so we should be able to get that going pretty fast, I think. And now we have both apothecary and medical equipment. And then we're working on pathogen diagnostics, which is really nice to have if you ever have water filtration systems. Which would be the next thing, you know, if we want to consider like a proper washroom rather than a latrine, because I only really have a latrine right now, pathogen diagnostics is probably one of the requirements for it first. Oh, look at all that carbon dioxide. It all pretty much got filtered out. Awesome. I'm going to turn cooking back on now that we've eaten... No, I'll leave it off one more day. Try to remind me at the end of the day. Because we still have about 10-ish meals. 9 meals. Which should be enough for a bit. So the plume squash plants are they're growing, but I want to disable auto harvest. And then do they eat it off the vine or when it's fallen? Alright. And then the other thing is we're going to have a lot of patty, which is their poo, which we can put through the rock crusher for phosphorite and clay, which is a very interesting way to get clay. So as we get access to their poop, we probably want to do something with it, because it's a pretty useful renewable resource for phosphorite, which is useful for the other farms. And most of the carbon, well, not most, but a lot of the carbon dioxide that we dumped here is now being converted back. As you can see, it's getting trapped in interesting ways, but it's being converted back by the other Alvelvera farm. Let's go ahead and prioritize this bottom section first so that we can finish the liquid lock. It's not necessary, per se, but I think I'd rather keep the gas that's in our base requiring a liquid lock, because this carbon dioxide is useful to us, and I don't want it to escape over here, because this carbon dioxide can be turned back into oxalate. And I think what I want to do up here, so they don't have to send a dupe every time, is let's go ahead and hook up a automation signal switch and wire for this gas pump as well, just like we did this one, so that I can toggle this on and off at will, because it's going to be a long time before that ever becomes properly vacuum. Our shrewberry went up. We uncovered more buried shrewberry, so my cake house for this colony actually went up even though we're not cooking. So, yet another day of not having to worry about that, I suppose. So stress is still a little bit of an issue. Interesting that it's an issue for Toxie, the brand new guy, who should have the highest morale to requirement ratio. So what happened to you? Chilly, low oxygen, sopping wet. Oh, you've probably been building in an area that doesn't have a lot of oxygen. That would make sense. So these mop tasks are 9s. I'm surprised they aren't higher up on the priority queue. Clearly, for cleaning, I don't really have anyone working high priorities. Oh no, there we go. So we're getting the ethanol to finish up the liquid lock. And we just got access to the baddie over here, as well as the bammoth. So wrangle set to 9. That's going to be really high priority that we get the bammoth soon. And then let's go ahead and also construct a ladder. So that we can get access to this bammoth as well. Wrangling the top one and then digging up all the plume squash, because this plume squash is going to be useful to expand the ranch's access to food. As far as the egg goes, I could put a storage bin for the eggs over here, so that we can also sweep up the bammoth eggs and deposit it where they need to be. But here we go. Reed fiber coming in. Nice. Sweet. So now we just need iron to be able to make the suits rather than reed fibers. We now have reed fibers. So I'm not ready to mark down that I have the Bammoth Ranch, because there's still a little bit more to do in that Bammoth Ranch, but it's coming along. Blueprint. Well, free barbecue. Sounds good to me. Yet another day where I won't have to cook. And I'm gonna set the moving of the corpse a little bit of an emergency. I mean, it's a little excessive, sure. I'd agree to that, but like, it's gonna help manufacturing sooner than later. So sweep only. Critter egg for bimini's put into there. So now we can also sweep up at a 9 priority this Bammoth egg or bimini egg to put it where it needs to be. And I'll set this dig as a 9 as well. Alright, that's probably enough ethanol to form a liquid lock, maybe? I can always mop up more if no more is required. We'll set these as 9 to form the liquid lock. Looks pretty good. I'm surprised. Oh, did we make an exosuit? No. Where's my... Oh, you know, it might be going to tune-ups. I was trying to figure out where my refined iron is going. I think it's just going straight to tune-ups. it's fine. I mean, they're useful there as well, so not an issue. This squash plant, I'm going to set as a 9 dig up so that I can actually get to the other bammoth. It'd be really nice to have 10 reed fibers. That's enough for 5 suits. Which is a phenomenal start for an airlock. Because we only have 5 people, so that's literally a suit per person. So getting the ladder in, and then digging up the other bloom squash so that we can actually plant the full farm too. I think what we need, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I think that's all we need. Okay, liquid lock is still not good enough, so we'll keep mopping. What is it? It's about halfway. It's 485 out of the 1,000 plus required. Cool. Now we have access to the other bammoth, and we'll be able to wrangle it at a 9 priority as well to get a shear on. So you are about 3/4 aged up. Got it. Do we still have do we have an egg in here yet? No. Where'd that egg go? Don't tell me we cracked it. No, we didn't crack it. So where the hell is it? Did we start hauling it and then stop hauling it because it was like break time? This is set to 9. No, this is not set to 9. So it's probably in one of these here. So let's go to resources. I know it conflicts with the overlay a little bit. Clear out the resources now that we pin, and then find the egg. Because the egg's somewhere in the wrong bin. No, it's right there. Okay, sweep that at a 9. So we swept it, and then we stopped moving it. Got it. So now I'm going to repin wood, because wood is the only thing that I really want to keep track of to make sure that we always have enough of. Where is wood? Wood, where are you? 5.6 tons. So it's up. The last time I checked, the last time I even bothered to look up there was like 4.4. So wood is a net positive, at least for now. So there we go. We put the bimini egg in there. And it's a sweep-only box. So now there's a bimini egg incubating within the ranch. Perfect. And there should be another bammoth heading over there. Oh, confined. Ooh, we trussed it up and buried it somehow. All right, here we go. Making our first suit. Booyah! All right, and then we'll deliver the suit to the airlock. So, obviously, we are also going to require gas reservoirs of oxygen for that. I don't really think that insulated gas pipes are going to be required in this case. So the gas output for the second one is going to be the oxygen pipe. That's a little extra pipe plumbing that I probably don't need to set up. I don't really care about how attractive this thing is. That should be fine. And then we need to figure out the intake. And the intake is probably going to draw oxygen just from our base in general. But I might want to, I'm probably going to want to filter it out. Because if you don't filter it, if the wrong gases go in, what ends up happening is it will damage the dock. Which obviously is not something you necessarily want to have done. The other thing is that this suit dock is going to require a pretty hefty sum of power. So that's another thing to consider, is that do we scale up our power plant a little bit? Like, how do we meet its power needs? I don't need to figure that out right now, but that is something to figure out at some point. So if we do have a oxygen pump, what I can do in this case is to gas filter it. So maybe what makes sense is to have an oxygen pump near the sconce. So we have a sconce here, an oxalite sconce. So we have a source of oxygen here. So I'll put a pump up here, or, actually, I'm gonna get rid of these sconces that I have built. And then move the sconce to here. And this is sort of a temporary solution. So we have the pump. And the pump goes into the intake of the filter. And then we have what is being filtered out, which is the orange, or yellow, or whatever color that is. And the filtered out is going to be headed to the oxygen storage. So we'll have a gas bridge here. Actually, if anything, I don't want it bridged. I want the other gas bridged, because the other gas is more temporary. So we'll have it brought down and input into the oxygen tank. So that's the oxygen tank. And then everything that is the wrong gas, I'll have it join down here. So it's kind of a lot of construction, but it's only granite. It doesn't really matter that it's like a lot of setup for a temporary project, or at least I'm not bothered by it. So we'll get that built, and that will allow us to have our oxygen for the tanks, for the suits. So we can traverse around and not worry about us asphyxiating. And I'll have to wrangle you again, don't I? You were confined and then got free. Alright. Still don't have refined metal. That's crazy. Raising that up. You have quite the diet. Look at all that it just ate. Holy moly. So the other parts that I wanted was a signal switch and wires, both for this gas pump and the brand new one that I'm about to make, just so that I can toggle them on and off at will quickly. I set up 6 suits, so we've already made 4 or 2 of the 6 required. Cool. And if we wanted more bammoths, I could also dig from this spot over here and gain access to even more bimini eggs, another bammoth, more plume squash, and you know, it also looks like there's fossils over here too. Neat. Can't believe how long it's taken for pathogen diagnostics. It's crazy. The gas pumps are done. This I'm going to disable for now. I haven't actually, I hadn't set any filters for it specifically, so it was just like pumping everything through. But we wanted the signal switch and automation wires And then likewise, a signal switch over here with automation wires. Get that going. And then once that is constructed, I can go ahead and start filling up the gas reservoir. Okay, I think yep, there we go. We have another bammoth to be able to be sheared, and that's going to help with suits. So that will get us up to 5 of the 6 suits we need. So one more bammoth and we'll get the 6th suit. The other thing I could do is to capture bammoths, knowing that there's a finite amount of food that is available for them, and like butcher the older ones, because some of these are kind of old. Like this one is 148 out of 200 cycles old. Allowing the new eggs to slowly incubate, and then we'll end up with a surplus of meat. Speaking of which, we still have plenty of food available, so that's really not much of an issue. Oh, one other thing is consumables. Okay, I was just making sure that we weren't eating raw plume squash, and we aren't. That's good. Blueprint. Squash fries. Wow, that's a lot of kcals of squash fries. I'm actually going to not worry about that because we have a lot of food. We have more food than we even have storage for, so I'm just going to print the cinnabar ore, which is twice as much ore as I even had at the moment. And Toxie, you're going to get suit wearing. So now everyone can suit wear, which is good. Phlox needs some... I need to either make space. Oh, this one's about to die of old age, so I'll kill the one that's 3 cycles away from old age death. Now that I have the signal switches, I can turn the gas pumps back on. And then I'll need to create the actual pipe because I bridged it in a different way. So once that pipe's done, I can start filling up the oxygen tanks for these suits. I'm surprised they haven't been delivered yet. No, obviously they're not powered yet either. Still too much liquid. Made a mess. Oh, I don't like that. I might want to... Oh, God, are you kidding me? What is y'all problem with not tending the outhouses? I'm probably going to need to have Sean be highest priority tidying, so that he actually plunges it more frequently. Because this is now the 2nd time, so it's definitely we're into the shame on me period of like, this should stop happening. It's mostly because I'm not used to using outhouses as late in the game. Because generally speaking, outhouses aren't a thing that you, for normal oxygen not included, need to deal with. But this is a little bit different because liquid water isn't natural on these temperatures. So normally I would have like a liquid water pool and I would already be in the washroom stage, but that's just not the case for me for now. All right, we have access to another bammoth. Hopefully they don't wrangle it into the wall like before. I feel like that's a bug. Like, if you wrangle it and it's not in a wall, it shouldn't just, like, jump into a wall. But that happened over here, which is just weird. I think it's because the bammoth is, like, multi-cell or whatever. I don't know. Something to keep an eye on. Alright, so let's take a look at this filtration. If it's oxygen, it goes through the filtered output pipe into this oxygen tank, which then feeds to the suits. And if it's not oxygen, it goes to the right to where the carbon sequestration is happening. No, I'm not assuming it's carbon dioxide. I'm just putting all waste gas over there. So then I want to start delivering these suits so they can actually fill up with the oxygen so that we can actually use them. And then once they're filled up with oxygen, I can then solve the problem of how to power them. Because I don't know if powering off a one wood burner is probably a good long-term idea. But at least for now, what I could do is just hook this up to the other grid and see how much stress it adds to the system. Knowing it will be stressed. I know that for sure. Alright, I am going to kill the oldest one here. Which is... Actually, what is your skill growth? 28%? Yeah, I'm just going to kill you. I actually don't know how dangerous they are in terms of hunting, but I guess I'll find out that soon. So, if we take a look here, slowly this tank is filling up with oxygen ready to be offered up to the suits in the suit dock. And then once they're powered up, the suits will start filling up with oxygen so the dupes can breathe when in non-oxygenated environments. Wow, barely fought back at all. Copy that. I think it was just distracted. Oh, and there's meteor showers going on right now. Cool. Another bammoth that's really easy to get is this one. If you want to go up this way. Let's go ahead and do that. I don't know if this is going to be on the inside or outside of our suit docks for the future, but at least for now, we can just like grab this bammoth, add it to it, and then if we want to put this outside of the docks, that's fine. Inside the docks, that's fine too. I don't really care which. But that gives us enough enough material to make all the suits that we need, I think. And I'll make sure to keep our refined iron going so that we have the metal material for it as well. So here we go. These are now getting fed with oxygen slowly. And I just have to keep an eye on our power drain because, you know, we don't want to burn out the lines. Definitely a risk. So I think while it's filling up with oxygen, I'm going to turn off the gas pumps. At least for now. Oh, I wanted to save those for the nature reserve? I think you're right. Let me cancel that. So let's take a quick look at nature reserve potential. So there's 4 here. That would be pretty good for a nature reserve. So yeah, let's leave those alone. Those bloom squashes alone. There's 3 here and 1 there. That would also be really fitting for the nature reserve. These 4 plants might be best. But since it's not it's not urgent that I decide this, I'm going to leave those alone anyway. The other thing is the sweeps. All standard. Because we're getting access to like new materials, so I might want to make sure that we can sweep up everything. All right, so 2 suits, 1 suit left to make. Cool. And we're probably manufacturing it soon or now, because we just sheared 1 more bammoth. So the oldest bammoth I'm, again, going to kill. Because I think, well, actually, no, I said we could feed 3. 3.5, that's what I calculated, if all of the plume squash was planted and irrigated. So, I'll take that back. I'll allow 3 to exist. Getting a whole lot of barbecue as a result of all these bammoths, though. There we go. Liquid level's low enough that we can start mopping it up for the liquid lock again. Looking pretty good. I'm almost ready to I will say the ranch bammoth is probably done now that we have 3. So build a checkpoint is still the requirement, and I'm not quite done with that. Filling all of the suits up with oxygen is probably where I will feel comfortable saying I've done it. Alright, finally, doing some irrigation with the, there we go. And we've, wow, really? Passing diagnostics took that long? Oh my god. Let's see. I'm gonna start, I'm not gonna think too much about it. I'm gonna start getting the, like, 3rd level of research going, because we have all of the level 1 and 2 stuff done. All level 1 and 2 everywhere is finished. Well, maybe there's something more urgent than others. Let's see. Natural gas, petroleum, and oil I probably don't need immediately. Heavy wall wires I probably need sooner than other things. Auto sweeping is awesome, but it requires a lot of power. I actually am going to go for fire pole, because I can actually see myself making use of fire poles soonish. So we'll go for fire pole tech. Suits. Low power. Got it. Alright, so if we have low power, I'm going to turn off the oxygen pump so we can make the final suit, and then this exosuit forge could probably be ignored or turned off for a long time, because it's not going to be all that necessary. The other thing that is getting backlogged is farming tasks. So Toxie knows how to farm. So I'm going to have Toxie prioritize farming with Nabla. Rather than research, just so that we can start to have the Aloe Vera working at full tilt again. Blueprints. Rust. Why not? I do like myself some rust. And Toxie, thank you for the gifted sub, by the way. Somehow I didn't hear the alerts. My alerts might not be working right. Or I ignored it, filtered it out. Maybe my brain isn't working right. It's hard to tell which is true. So refined iron that we have is probably enough. I'm only going to make maybe 1 more batch of it, and then call it quits for a bit. That will be plenty for the next Atmosuit, and then a bunch of tune-ups. So So we can start changing gears towards other tasks. The alerts do work, Turtle. I was filtering out in my brain. I apologize. The noises that I hear for alerts is kind of similar to Oxygen Not Included background noise. So it blends in a little bit closer than like other games that I play. Because whenever you do redemptions, I hear something that you guys don't. And it's kind of blippy little noises that's pretty similar to Oxygen Not Included noises, which is makes life a little difficult, I guess. Alright, final suit is done. I can go ahead and disable this building, get the suit delivered, and then use the power that we have in to do more of the suit filling. So what is our current power draw? Current load is 360 watts. That's like not too bad, actually. And then if we shear, it might be like 420, but it's still less than what we're currently producing, so I feel pretty good about that. Our wood quantity is holding at about 4,500. I will have to maybe, let's see, do a quick flocks check. Most of them I think are young. So yeah, I'm gonna smash 2 we already have that queued up. I'm gonna smash 2 flocks eggs because so we don't really have need of more of that at the moment. Liquid lock. That is not a lot of ethanol. So we're gonna have to do a lot more mopping, I think. And Twonker, thank you for the gift, the bits as well. The shamrock bits. Oh, I am out of liquid to drink. Otherwise, I cheers you. Let me pause the hydration redemption, because I can't hydrate anymore. So the first ammo dock is completely full of oxygen. It's just so happens to be also the one that doesn't have a suit. And then I want to, like, clean this place up a bit, or really calling that task done. Also, what the hell is going on over here? Like, I am so... Can you guys plant? For the love of God. I know my farmer's backed up to hell, so I don't blame him. Just frustrating to not have that done for so long. Alright, suits are filling. Now, I do have the checkpoint disabled because I don't need them yet. I don't want to be using the suits and the suit's oxygen until it's really critical, which is why I have it disabled. But once it's once we have use of it, I'll re-enable it. Like if we're going to go mess with bleachstone, for instance, because I don't really need my dupes being subjected to like chlorine, as a example. I'll make sure the sconce is getting plenty of oxalate, because we're basically drawing from it immediately. Also wouldn't mind putting a ladder down here so that we can tend to this alveol vera. Because there's a pit of carbon dioxide that I don't mind staying a pit, but I wouldn't mind passively filtering it over time anyway. Are you tuning up faster because of the light levels? Yes. Alright. Oh, yeah, we need a ladder. I actually didn't mean for them to keep digging downwards. That's hopefully not going to be a problem. And yeah, the plume squash is slowly getting, the situation is slowly getting addressed. Critter's 9, so that means we need to smash some more eggs. And I think I'm going to change what I'm currently working on. I want to remove some more carbon dioxide from our inside base, because it's becoming a little pressurized, so I'm switching which pump is active. Alright, Critter 7, that looked good. Critter 6, that's fine. Yeah, everything is running smooth. My kicals are kind of unbelievably out of control, if I'm honest. I'm going to put another ration box here, just as like a stopgap measure, because we honestly have so much food that I just don't even know where to put it. Because we're happening upon tons of plume squash as a result of just like, you know, finding it in the world. Lots of omelets and barbecue from all the kills and whatnot, so I might as well have space for extra food. And it's deep frozen and oxygenated here, so it's totally fine to treat that as food. Alright, mopping. Still too much liquid. Let's go like that. So what are we at? 400. How many tiles is this? 10. What is the minimum to mop at? I forget what is too much liquid. What's the threshold? But whatever, we'll keep digging until it's moppable again. Thank you for tuning in to Oxygen Not Included Frosty Planet, which originally streamed live on Twitch August 1st. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you would like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching, and a special thank you to my Patreon patrons, Twitch subscribers, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch a next episode or an upcoming stream of mine. Farewell, my fellow duplicates.